Hi, this is Dave Mast for OhioSportsTicket.com. Welcome to another episode of Ticket TV, brought to you by Hummel Group Insurance and Wealth Management. We are pleased to be at Kaufman Realty and Auctions today, joined with a couple of real baseball nuts, we'll call them here. Dave Kaufman, owner of Kaufman Realty and Auctions, and also the owner of the Kaufman Realty baseball team that's been pretty well known for some pretty sensational baseball over the past long time. And Kaufman head coach Clippy Yoder. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, Dave, we'll start with you here. I guess it all stems from where this baseball team got its start, because you guys have done such an incredible job of forming just great team after great team year after year. Where does that passion for the game come from?
I've always enjoyed sports, and especially baseball, and it's probably been 15, 17 years ago when it used to be the Sugar Creek Businessmen sponsored league. And Tim Mullen approached me one day about perhaps giving a little portion to it, and we researched a little bit farther, and we decided we'd just take the entire team. So that's where it started. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny, I had season tickets at the Indians at the time, and but it took me about 2 years. I decided, well, I'm going to pour my money into Kaufman Realty instead of the Cleveland Indians. So that's where it started.
A little easier to get to the games.
Exactly. And they win.
Yeah, come on now, don't be ripping on the tribe like that. Well, I mean, this has been a passion of yours for a long time now, and your love of the game has really rubbed off on the team, and I know that you generally don't miss a game. I mean, you try and get to every game. You have poured a lot of money into this program and with equipment, and just really making sure that these guys are well taken care of. It's a very top-notch, well-run organization, isn't it?
That's what we try to be. We try to be, and I try and make it a fun situation for them, something that they enjoy and they love. And I like the idea of bringing in boys, and after a couple of years, they're men.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah. And
I see the maturity, the growth of these guys in baseball as well as in their other areas of their lives. So it's rewarding to us, yes.
And I think one of the neat things about you and this whole program has been the fact that you kind of employ some young Amish boys at Lehman Field to do a little bit of the dirty work for you there, chasing down foul balls. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's kind of interesting. A lot of foul balls, and a ball costs between $3 and $4. I think that's what the cost of it is. So I told him, if you go and pick up the foul balls, I'll give you the drinks. Whatever drinks you want, you can get those at the lunch stand. But it's ended up being cheeseburgers and nachos, and so it's a pretty hefty bill at times. But we had tried to restrict it to drinks, but different ones. It was kind of interesting. They came in and they said, "We'll pay for the drink, but the cheeseburger's on Dave."
Well, you've taken this program, and because of your passion, I think as an owner, you want to win. I mean, you're very competitive, and you want to see this team win. And so it's been over the years. It's been Clippy's brother Ross, or different guys have coached, and you've kind of allowed them to make sure that they bring in some really top-notch talent. So that's important to you. Winning is important to you, isn't it?
It's very important. I'm probably more competitive maybe than I should be at times, but I always tell them, let's have fun and let's win.
Yeah.
But a loss is a loss. Somebody has to lose, so I can always accept it. But if we put forth our best effort and lose, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
and
okay.
That has resulted in a lot of Class A championships, both
Sure.
regular season and tournament. Clippy, you're managing this year. I mean, what's the process of going out and finding guys to just continue this program that's just been so dominant over the years?
I think one thing that Dave mentioned before, we try to get those young kids that are hungry to come in and play baseball. A lot of times Dave will talk to me about guys, well before they're ready, saying, hey, we need to make sure we have them on our roster when they're ready to play. And that's something that, I'll make sure I'm contacting those kids, before they're up and ready. And just being very aware of that. Trying to stay youthful.
Yeah.
That's something we try to make sure we do. So that's kind of definitely helped us with our success.
And you're fairly new to the head coaching position here. How has that transition gone, and do you feel like you're at home there now?
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable. It definitely helped that Ross took over for what, maybe 2-3 years.
I think 3 years.
3 years. So it's a little bit easier transition when it's your brother handing it off to you. He got me involved, especially the last year, in what was going on, and just different meetings we have and how it kind of works, and especially on how to treat the players. Guys want to be treated like adults.
Yeah.
Just being straightforward with guys. These are boys, but they're men now. So just being straight up with people and being open and honest.
Now you go out and handpick guys. Do you have a lot of players coming to you and say, "Hey, can I play for the team?"
Yeah, that does happen on occasion. We try to play a good brand of baseball, and the thing about it is, when you play a good brand of baseball, it's attractive to good baseball players. So that's something that over the past couple of years we've had that a couple times, and the good part about that is if that happens, it usually means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we continue to do the right things.
And you and I have talked in the past about the desire to win, and it's a Tuscarawas County Class A baseball league, and sometimes summer ball becomes, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but the drive to win is not necessarily there for a lot of guys because it's summer baseball. Mm-hmm. That hasn't been the case for you guys. How have you been able to kind of keep that edge and keep those guys focused?
Yeah, it's one of those things we talk about every time we step in between the lines. It's game time. Dave mentioned earlier, we want to have fun, but we want to win. And something that people sometimes tend to forget is winning's fun. So
absolutely.
The bottom line is, when you're playing sports and you're competitive, you get those people on your team who are competitors. And the bottom line is, do you want to win? Because that's when you're having the most fun. So that's kind of helped with that drive a little bit. And you're right, summer baseball is summer baseball. It doesn't have quite the same ring as like a college season. But we want to make sure we're having fun, and that's just part of it, and it definitely helps.
Yeah, and you've really built a connection here with the Highland Hawks varsity baseball roster. You're an assistant coach there, and that whole process of kind of bringing these guys from Highland into Kaufman has worked well for you too.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I don't know if you want to call it a farm system, but that's about as close as close as I can describe that type of situation where we want those kids coming and playing for us. That's something we talk about. We talked a little bit earlier about picking out those young kids and saying, hey, we want you to come play for us later. That's a big part of the process. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So as an owner, how would you describe Dave Kaufman?
It's a blast. I'm just gonna be honest. It's a blast because he's one of those guys where I go out and I make so we look good. I get jerseys. I get baseball bats, and Dave's all for it. He wants to talk about that, having fun with the kids. It's fun to go out and have a jersey, look good, play the game the right way, and when your owner supports it 100%, it's definitely a lot easier. Absolutely. It makes things a lot of fun.
So, any really funny stories about Dave that we can share here?
Oh man, I think just for me, I didn't ever realize how competitive Dave was until I started playing. My brother played for Kaufman for a couple years before I did, and I knew it was pretty serious. But then when I got get to know Dave a little bit, and this is something that we sit down in January. The season doesn't start till what is it, Memorial Day every year, but it's January, discussing the rosters, different things like that. Dave always wants to know. Like I send the reports email after every game. They go to Dave. Dave's involved in a lot of different things, and he enjoys the game, which honestly makes it really fun for me. He's very involved, and it's a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
And Dave, I see you after games. You're in the dugout horsing around with the guys and joking around with them, and they seem to have a really great relationship with you. And I think that's part of the neat part of this, isn't it?
Yeah, we try and keep it that way. We've had a lot of star players come through our system, and there's my first name comes to me is Tim Malt. Mm-hmm. He was the person that introduced me into it. Then later on, we had that one team when we had Jake and Josh Frank from Worcester College. We had Matt Miller and Kendall Slabaugh and Ross Yoder, and I think Clippy was at that. We had a powerhouse, and That's just to name a few. Right now we've got, Richie Mast and Hayden Mobley, which are just outstanding, plus all the others. And, I don't want to omit anybody, but
right.
I just really love to see these guys come through and how they mature, how they become better. First year in one of the guys that comes from my thinking of is Brant Miller.
Mm-hmm.
His first year out of high school, he was a decent player. But he's turned 180 degrees this year compared to what before, and I love to see that. I just love to see that. I love to see the maturity. If there's a bad call from the umpire, kind of swallow it, turn around, go back, because I probably would say something myself, because I get irritated, and they take it, and I like to see that. Good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
So
over the years, who's been the toughest opponent on the mound for Kaufman? Is there anybody that stands out?
Joe Bishop's been tough.
Yeah, I thought too that was probably the guy.
Joe Bishop's been tough over the years. Joe is tapering off right now, but it's been years. I mean, we had problems with him for a long time.
He's talent.
And I forgot to mention we had Chad Weigler in our lineup at one time.
He wasn't bad.
Oh, he was just terrific. His pitching was just outstanding. But Joe Bishop, over the years, probably as hard. We've been able to beat him the last, I don't know how many years now. It's been quite a while, but he was always a top pitcher. Yeah.
And I mean, Clippy, you've gotten to play with a ton of great players over the years, and I'm sure that you have your own guys that you've hated to face. But this year has been another successful year. Only one loss at this point in time. You're closing in on another regular season title. If people want to come watch, when do you play, and where can they find a schedule?
I believe the schedule on Kaufman's website should be on Kaufman's website. We play Wednesdays at 6, and then Sundays doubleheaders start at 1.
And tournament's right around the corner here. So
yeah, tournament's right around the corner. That should be. We have. I was just looking. We have 3 Sundays left and 3 Wednesdays, and then after that, second half's done and it's on into tournaments.
Well, if you haven't had a chance to come out and see some great baseball, I really urge you to do so. It is a great brand of baseball. It's a wooden bat league. Kaufman has loads of talent, and there's a lot of talent in Tusc County. So if you get a chance on a Wednesday or Sunday afternoon, go out and check out some great baseball. Guys, really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and kind of share a little bit about the Kaufman baseball passion. We really appreciate the effort that you both put into this, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
For HighSportsTicket.com, I'm Dave Mast.